And we're back with our Acts 3 and 4 ahead of us with this ridiculous deck we've seen prior. And a floor ahead of us before Donu Decker that has basically as many options as we would like, because all of them are max elite. Two,
Oh, wow.
or two.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm going to describe a path to you. We have so much scaling in the deck, and we have, what, it's like 380 gold or something? We want a path that has... We're good with taking fights, because we're quite aggressive, and so we're cool to see more cards that way. We just want to maximize seeing cards. And if one of these paths has 2 shops, that's probably the path I want.
Teak. We have early shop here, cuts over to the left, possible shop instead of a rest, but there's definitely a shop afterwards.
Yeah, that's we're left side like almost always, I think.
I think so too. However, I would also like to put in, I would like another question mark rather than another fight. I know the fights are HP for us. They're also possibly even max HP.
Yeah.
The thing is...
But what if we were rich?
What if we were rich? And also, because with the amount of shops, we can remove as many normalities as we would need. What if we were rich? But also, what if... let me just make sure. Cool. What if we found another chest? We have Matryoshka, so that would be 2 relics for us. It's not a huge likelihood, but it's like a little nudge. A little nudge.
Matryoshka is funny. Do you know this about Matryoshka? The relic that Matryoshka generates is a small chest.
Ooh.
So it's 75% common, 25% uncommon.
I did not know
You can
that.
never get a rare relic out of Matryoshka, which is part of the reason that I often skip it for the blue key, actually. So I like seeing more relics, but it is unfortunate that we're trading a common chest and 1 more relic for a curse.
Ooh.
Hello.
God,
Enemy that attacks.
I really want that 10 block on turn 1.
Yeah.
Just be very nice to have.
We sure don't have any block in our relics either. Well, technically Odd Mushroom is block. And you could call Singing Bowl block.
Yeah. You can call Singing Bowl block. You can call most things blocked by that metric.
Can we win on this turn with Tempest?
100%.
Can we draw on this turn to try to play Self-Repair?
Self-Repair was in the opening hand. We already played it.
Oh! Well, let's go.
Okay, and then 9s. So we already get the kill even if I double defend before this for the sake of the ink bottle.
Perfect.
Right? It's the 6 9s is... It's like a nice number. It's 54. Yeah, that makes sense.
All multiples of 9, the digits add up to 9, which is like a really cool math fact. Whoa, it's all the best cards! Can we take them all? What the heck? They're all together? Cool-Headed Plus, Reinforced Body, Force Field, all in 1 pick. If you just click real fast.
The APM.
Gotta raise your APM, dog.
So in case I can't APM all of them, which side do we start on? I'm leaning Cool-Headed.
I'm leaning Cool-Headed strongly. And the reason is that it's also draw.
Yep.
Right.
There we go.
And it's block on all the turns. And Force Field is great. And if Cool-Headed weren't there, it's probably Force Field. And if we already had Recycle, or if we had Chemex, that elevates the Reinforced Body. Your APM, dude, you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. Just couldn't get that one to work.
My APM. It's a me.
Do we ever consume 2 times this turn?
And then just dual cast?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ham.
It's just like there's no defense anywhere right now.
Yeah. So instead, try kill. That's defense. This is sad.
It's sad, but sometimes sad things happen.
Sometimes sad things do happen. That's so true. Next turn is looking a little spooktacular. Can we kill someone? Bull and pot?
Barrage doing no
barrage
damage. 9 and nope.
Dude, we are in trouble. Hope we're at this store soon.
Gosh. We are in the store in 2 spaces time.
Yeah, I think that was turn 1, dual cast, see where it hits, Vuln pot, attack that one. But hindsight do be like that.
It do. If we hold here, we can get an extra energy out next turn. It might be relevant for the Tempest rather.
Okay, and it makes it clearer where we're going.
There's the Tempest.
We can kill the things that are attacking us this turn if we play this correctly. And we do need to kill them. Oh, but we have Tempest, right? So, like, things just die?
Yeah.
Can we manage to not fully win here?
We can try, but then we'll be under-defending as well. And if we under-defend and take, you know, for instance, 12 against 5, we're losing 7 to gain 7.
So maybe we attack the middle first and kill them off definitively?
Yeah, I'm comfy doing that. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, we have 6 in there. Okay, so we actually have to throw 2 out first.
We're about to draw a card as well, which is awesome. Nice play. Do you want to dual cast here, actually?
No, I think Tempest first, because then we know if we have to stop.
If you Tempest right now, you're just going to win.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Right? This will only hit 1.
Oh, you're right. Okay, but then now... Now what?
We can take 1 damage this turn, and then we're looking for the possibility of getting self-repair in the next hand. If we can't, then we kill. Or this comes back even.
Okay. Okay. Take 1.
Never mind. It's not going to come back. It'll die before.
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, anything I play now kills the enemy. So
yeah, that's true. That's literally all killing. I guess I should have done an attack.
I think I want the HP.
Okay, I agree.
Honestly, if I took a Hyper Beam here, the main reason would be to possibly remove it with the burn event.
I was thinking about taking Compile Driver.
I think we just need it.
I think we do this. Yeah, I think we do this. Come on, shop. Come on. Seek is nice. Is Spoon doing anything for us?
It's the hologram that exhausts back. It's Tempest back.
And that's it.
That's about it. So no. The Bottle Tornado, to guarantee the opening hand, has the Bias Cognition, which guarantees that our debuff is the Lose Focus debuff. It's pretty damn good.
Dude, we have 2 Bias Codes. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
It is. It is a lot of money to do that.
A lot of money. I would agree that it's good, but it is also a lot of money. There's a world here where I even take meat on the bone, but what I would like us to be able to get away with is seek, card remove, leave, because we've got more stores coming up. Transmutation is also actually pretty good here, but I won't come from there. That's too wild of a Neverland.
A bit too wild of a Neverland.
I agree. Yes, quite.
Okay. I like Seek a lot. And Seek can also, like, it's another card in the deck that could be a block. You know, or a Bias Cognition, could be a block. Really, it's versatile. The fact that we have the 2 Bias Cognitions does push me a little bit away from the Bottle Tornado, but the main reason I'm pushed away from the Bottle Tornado is because, sure, get Bias Cognition online on turn 1, and then what Frost?
What
still only have 2 sources of Frost in the deck.
Yeah.
It's definitely kind of strong.
I'm a little worried, too, like, about just cutting the chaff. You know, we're going to have 3 strikes. We're going to have potentially a curse. We've just got a lot to draw through. Potions are going to be very important for the rest of the run. And like considering what potions we have and when to play them and in what fights will be consistently important. Like here, are we supposed to play a skill potion or no? I don't know the answer.
We're taking
skill
4
potions
damage
tend to be
this
pretty
turn,
random.
So...
But if it gives us a cool headed, then that's like the best thing that we could do, right?
That is true.
Opened up a slot.
It's the fact that we have the elite coming up next is the big reason I don't want to utilize it, just because it could also be a cool headed there in a fight that is going to be a little bit more dangerous than this.
I wonder what our potion percent is right now. Did we get potions in previous fights?
No.
So it's probably pretty high, like 50.
I think we got the skill pot here, maybe though.
Okay.
Don't know when we got the Von Prot though. Do you want to pop the skill pot?
I think I would, because they're pretty high variance for defect.
Card that comes back.
Yeah, you could just like play the steam barrier this turn and not take any damage. And if we happen to get a potion now, we'll be glad that we saved whatever, 10 life, 5 life.
$40 incoming.
Skill potions are funny because we look at skill potion and we're like, oh, cool, block in a jar. But for all of the classes, so much of the skill space is actually not block. And you can totally get a skill potion that's like, oh, I got a reflex, a tactician, and whatever, you know, like I got some other random skill.
Sorry about the the slow response. I'm trying to think of it's the juggling of the nunchaku and the ink bottle. It's just every fight I'm like, how do I not destroy them?
You have been given a Rubik's Cube and like, you know, 2 fidget spinners, and someone told you that they're connected to the, you know, the USS Enterprise, and you like have to fly it now with this Rubik's Cube and the fidget spinner. Click it.
It's still not the doom and gloom. As much as I want it, it's still
no. This is the cool headed. We're feeling so much better now.
Thank heck we have cool head in the opening head. Okay, so with Ball Lightning Strike, we can take a single liner down already, and then we can cool headed. We could even hologram back and continue trying to get another cool headed out. Let's start with this.
See, baby. How do we just win on turn 1? Can we?
Without having the... If Seek was upgraded and we could get Tempest and All for One, I think there's a non-zero chance we could get pretty close.
Yeah.
Maybe in a realm where we kill next turn. But with...
So maybe it's just Bias Cog.
I don't think it is. Yeah. You got a good Bias Cog.
Cool-headed, see what we got, and then Seek the Bias Cog.
Oops. Clicked him in the wrong order.
This is fine.
The strike there for the ability. That goes for hologram, of course. Of course, we went mainline 2 times.
You could hologram like a cool headed there, actually. That might be a play.
We could. It's just the fact that it could be used for something else later on kind of pushed me a little bit away from that direction.
It's nice to have a bunch of block in this hand. That's good. So this might be a place to play Colorless Pot, because there's a decent amount of draw and or damage here. Secret Weapon is a way, potentially, to kill the backliner. And it can get you the All for One. It's very strong.
Oh, yes, it can get the All for One. That's a good idea. Feel a lot better about that now. What's that discard pile again? It does have a claw. It does have a dual cost. Makes it a little bit better.
And we have a bunch of hologram in hand, too, so it's not... I mean, we can get back to All for One later, too. Play the powers, I guess, and then just click, click, click.
The return is 1, 2, 3, 3 total. Take that back. The claw can't come back 2 times this turn unless I want to use a bunch more holograms. Do I want to use a bunch more holograms? Probably not. Although maybe.
Cold Snap Claw is pretty juicy here as a way to kill the backline.
I'm going to hollow back the All for One. Probably not going to use the turbo before it this time, though.
Seems reasonable. Nice turn. Really solid.
seems to have worked decently well there at the end.
Consomme.
Okay.
Consomme. Ooh la la. It's probably bait, right? Like, we don't even need to play it. Oh, but we have loop, so we do play it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that loop upgraded yet? Yes, good.
Yep. So, gosh. No, we don't Tempest for one. Well, no, because Tempest is
for
the
a lot
finisher.
more than one, right? Can we win with it this turn? Turbo, hologram, all for one, turbo, Tempest. And then we've got loop.
If we can't win with that this turn, that will win at the start of the next turn.
Hmm. Nunchaku's in a reasonable place. We can get Bottle in a reasonable place if we play our cards right here. That is a dead enemy. Kunai. That's pretty good. Well, we really want like 2 force fields, and then it's really good.
Mm-hmm. It's you know, it's a little bit of Dex on our all for one turns and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a Glacier.
It's finally showed up. We just kept hoping. Does that mean we can actually go to the fire here and then not take 2? I would prefer that, actually.
What are our upgrades? Bias Cognition, definitely. Seek, definitely. The other cool-headed, definitely. Past that point, I don't really care, but that's 1, 2, 3, 3. And there's 1 upgrade available here.
And we do have to recall at some point, too.
Recall. And that would actually get us the 3 upgrades as well as the recall.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. My priority upgrade here, I think, is still Seek. And then Bias Cognition
Seek
afterwards.
is the one that most smooths out this next elite fight, I think. Nemesis.
That's a turn 1 if I've ever seen one! Good lord!
We have significantly increased the rate that we are able to produce a block number. And because our block number is coming from Frost Orbs, it continues to block number. So nice. Like, look at that.
Oh, love when the enemy tries to do things. So cute.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Are you trying to take an action? They actually do 5 to us right here. But not anymore.
Well, I mean, do we use the hologram to bring anything back, or do we just defend strike claw?
Or like, what about consume equilibrium claw?
I don't dislike it. I was thinking about trying to hold the consume and a hologram until we had the extra orbs, extra orb slots from the capacitor.
Right.
But I don't think that's necessary here.
Especially because of loop. Like, we are almost to the point to where we full block passively.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes this fight totally free. You can just play cards here for the draw, I guess. Like, you could just go for the eyes, dual cast, cool-headed. All for one, and we're getting draws.
There's a point of Dex.
Nice and cute.
Really wanted to try and get one of those.
You could just sit on this hand. We're not in a rush.
We're not in a rush, but I'm trying to get to Tempest as soon as possible so that on the next turn of non-intangibility, we can just blow the enemy up. So I want to leave some space in hand.
It's kind of nice. This is really like a breath of fresh air because there just is not a risk. As long as we have one of the cards in our hand that solves the extra little bit of block, then we can afford to just kind of hang out forever.
Mm-hmm. Spire's Cog Tempest, and then we can't blow the enemy up this turn. What's their damage? 45? Against 48 defense passively.
Just take this capacitor and fill the hand up with, let's make like 100 block. I don't want to take damage, so I put all of my points into Frost. This feels
Seems
nice.
to be working reasonably. That also, by the way,
relaxed.
draw choked us so that the draw pile won't recycle here. So we can continue getting things back. Just thinking about still trying to get them in order. Maybe Maybe I don't want any of the 0 costs in our draw pile back? In our discard pile? And I do just want turbo back?
And just hologram a turbo and then pass?
Well, no, I'd
you're
still
just
want to kill the
gonna
enemy
holo.
this turn.
Okay.
So it'd be turbo,
holo, turbo.
Yeah.
I like it.
One.
Oh, interesting. Can we win now?
If we did it again.
So maybe it's just ball lightning, Tempest.
Ooh, go for the. I mean, that has 7 damage attached. This has the extra. Evoke. Yeah. There's the enemy by the end of the turn. We get 6 and 8. Holy smooth zone, not bad here.
Looks like max HP to me. This run really wants to give us a hyper beam, dude.
If it wasn't for the loop. If it wasn't for the loop, I'd be real keen on just taking a single auto shields here.
That's true. And it's not atrocious, but I think we just picked up Cool-Headed Glacier. We're in so much better shape. Man, it's sad that this is a common chest. We don't have to open it.
We do have a shop in literally the next space.
I know. Symbiotic virus is good.
I love symbiotic virus.
Good.
It's one of my favorite things. Well, that sure clears debuffs, don't it?
It's probably correct to just click it. What is the curse that we picked up?
That's a great question. Regret.
Oh. Does that one? No. It's like burn. It happens and it leaves your hand. It's not like pain.
Pain would be awful. Normality
Which you
would
have
be
to remove.
tragic.
Yeah. I think we take orange pellets here, dude. That's so huge for the heart fight with the density of powers that we have.
I'll tell you, there's one thing slightly pushing me away from that. Can't get the potion of capacity if we take the orbs. I really like the idea of picking up a potion of capacity in advance of the heart fight. Because we do have the consume. We have the ability to bring consume back. We also have a capacitor in the deck, sure, but we also have the ability to start filling out a decent amount of those orb slots.
I think if we lose the heart fight, we're losing the heart fight in the first 5 turns. There's nothing. The 5 is not magic. It just means that we might spill over like 5 health and then die in the second cycle. And I think orange pellets is the thing that solves that. It's a bunch of potions.
Almost all of the cards that we want upgraded in the deck are currently upgraded, save Bias Cognition. I could easily drop this Blessing the Forge for a skill or a colorless just to try and pull defense from nowhere. I think
Flex Potion is better than it looks here, now that we have orange pellets too.
That's also true. I could happily drop a Fear Potion to pick that up. Drop these 2, take Flex, and Skill would be the 2 I would take.
You don't like Colorless Potion?
It's not that I don't like Colorless Potion, it's just...
I keep saying that, I'm sorry. I actually, it makes me so frustrated when people say that in my Twitch chat. You hate Hyper Beam? And it's like, no, I don't hate the card. It's just not the card that I want right now.
No. I always interpret it as the situational version of that, which is you don't like that here. And the reason I slightly prefer the Skill Potion here is because it feels like it has more ways to generate defense, because it either can generate the defense straight up, or it can generate Frost Orbs, and we can generate the defense straight up. And it feels like that's the thing we're lacking a lot of the time. This has a lot of big hits, but it has a lot of whiffs too.
Yeah, just like getting some draw or getting like heck of magnetism. No, I like these bottom 2 a lot. And I think, you know where I like that Flex Potion the most?
Yeah.
The Act 4 elites. If we can get out of that fight without taking 50 damage, as we sometimes are wont to do, then the heart fight is so much smoother.
Well, it's a normal fight anyway.
But we also destroy this fight. Because we got a Seek right here. We just fill up with damage.
Just a bunch of Bias Cog. Get out the Capacitor and the Tempest. I'm just going to solve it all on turn 1.
It's Perfect. Solve it all on turn 1. Play it all.
Yeah.
Play those too, so that we can clear it. Yeah, just... Yeah. And then, are we done?
I think we are done, right?
Can we just press
no,
in
wait.
turn?
50, 60, 70. The 80 gets us, doesn't it? 45,
Okay,
60,
so we do
75.
need to just play some cards.
Yeah.
Which means we'll want to play 10 cards, ideally.
Oh, you're right. You're right because of the set. Okay, so we should play a bunch of things.
Perfect. And now we're looping lightning. So now we've won the fight and we're just playing out skills, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and attacks. I see.
I want as many of the rest of them to be attacks as possible. I'm going to try and end on this cycle still.
If we find all for one, then yeah, perfect. Premium.
Got a claw and a go for the eyes.
Pretty good.
So, let's go for those eyes. Give you a claw. That's be fine.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I wonder if we could kill here. So that's a pretty good sign that we're going to be able to do enough damage in the heart fight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Especially with good potions. One more glacier for the road?
I think so. It's just, I want,
yeah.
Like, I desperately want a glacier in the first hand or second hand. And, you know, cool-headed can be
or cool-headed.
A little bit of a glacier, you know?
4 frost-producing cards is pretty good. We really, really filled in the slots.
There's that glacier in the opening hand I asked for.
How kind of it. I'm going to spam out some damage here too, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that, right? That would go out before the glacier anyway. So to be...
Zap and see what we draw is a safe play.
I like that one.
Get out of here, explodey boy. Funny position, right? We have a self-repair too.
Exactly.
It's been so kind to us, man. Imagine this run without it. Gosh, there's versions of this run where we died to champ. In fact, I want to say that it's like a quarter of the runs died to champ, which is super, super spooky. And a good reminder to never become complacent, you know? Like you have to, no matter your Ascension, no matter what parts of your deck are strong, if you're not specifically thinking of challenges ahead and breakpoints and draws and distributions, then it's still Spire. It won't stop being Spire just because you feel big.
We have... Okay, and then we're fine to burn over that, but we're not fine to burn over... Okay, cool.
Do you think at this point we could just engage in diplomacy with these enemies? Like, they're not going to win.
I just don't
so
think
maybe we
they...
could say, help us, hook us up, get my nunchaku and my ink bottle to 9, and then we'll just leave.
I'm not certain they're operating on that level.
Oh no! What a stinker, dude.
You butt. You absolute butt.
True bupkis. Well.
Right.
Win we must. Now we just
regret would still
play
go off
cards.
before. There you go. Whack.
Oh, genetic
Why?
algorithm, my heart. Why floor 48?
Still would have taken you earlier.
I would have taken that at the beginning of this act.
I think it's the max HP here.
Oh no, dude, we're 4 gold off of being able to remove this curse. That's so dumb. That's funny, man. It's okay. We'll find that nickel on the ground right there before the merchant.
I found a giant nickel. It's sorry, it's one of those old Roman coins, what with a circle in the middle. Found one.
A huge old nickel. That's worth about
It makes a
300
thunk
pennies
when you flip it.
Sir, that's not a nickel. It's actually a key to the spaceship. Do you still have that Rubik's Cube and those 2 fidget spinners?
Damn it!
I've misplaced them. No.
I knew they were going to come in handy.
Escape this planet.
I told Mom they were going to come in handy. That's why I didn't want to throw them out, and then she threw them out. And now the world's doomed. Along
with my holographic first edition mint Charizard. Mom, how dare you?
Oh, that one hurts. I could be convinced not to play anything here to get a point of Dex later. Oh, actually, skill pot still feels okay.
I don't think we need to, man. I really don't think we need to. I think we can totally just pass, like you say. Or I guess we could have gotten a point of Dex there. Strike, Claw, Hologram, Claw.
I just don't want to get rid of the hologram.
Yeah.
That actually did hit Equilibrium. I was thinking about playing other things out of hand first, but why would you need to?
If you can just get lucky instead.
Mm-hmm.
Cold Snap. Nice. Nice. And there's the Dex. Nice.
Of course, I knew we were doing the Cold Snap. Drawing, rather.
We're drawing it. So are we holding off on playing orbs here?
I think we are, because we can claw, strike, barrage the back line, then double defend, and with the frost, we're already completely fine this turn still. This grows a bunch next turn. We can try and... Yeah, exactly.
Dual cost. When are you going to play the dual cost Rhapsody?
No, I only buy things for 4 times their cost. Yes. So, something about the voice, I was like, that's wealthy. That's landed gentry voice right there.
I think you can just play it this turn, because then we play Glacier and we literally cannot take damage. And so we get our relics to exactly where we want them to be, whatever that is. And it's 9s.
Okay, so we only need to play 2 more attacks in this fight. That gives us the ability to get the Orph one. And then
like A-Claw.
Yeah, a bunch of helpers in the Tempest. We're fine. We have a roadmap for it. Okay.
I'm really thankful that you let me push hard for the orange pellets, because it's gonna be so good. It's already been good.
Let's
win. Because you don't even have to do lethal this turn, as long as it happens in the next 3 turns.
Yeah, I figured that might happen. But that's okay. Hang on. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No,
we can full cycle attacks too.
I don't think we need to.
Oh, you just play. Just play Tempest and yeah. Yeah. Love it.
Right, and then we want to play one more.
Awesome. Bingo. 9s. Let's go. That's a setup. That's a beautiful setup.
Oh, it's perfect.
I'm happy with the deck. I think this deck is a cautionary tale, though. This run has been a cautionary tale, which is... And this is a cautionary tale for defect across the board, and something for everyone to learn and that I have to reteach myself constantly, is... Ask yourself if you're solving your problems, or if you're just like, what's the alternative? Are we solving the problems that we have, or are we just getting better at our solutions? Right? It's like, you can put yourself in a position where you're like, but once I play out my 600 defragments, I will have so much focus. And it's like, but you died. You died getting there. We got out of our hole.
I'll tell you, there was something that you said earlier on in this series. It was one of the first episodes, actually, back in season 1.
Wow.
Specifically, it was about Ironclad and gaining of strength, and you were talking about outscaling fights. And in particular, what you'd said was that 4 strength is enough to outscale most fights in the game. And something that I would commonly do when I was playing Ironclad, or when I was playing most classes, right, was if this is good, more of it is better. Right? Even though I was running thin deck, I would still have 5 copies of a card, like 5 limit breaks. I didn't need 5 limit breaks in that deck.
You can't even play 5 limit breaks, right?
I played 2 and I win. What am I doing with all of these limit breaks? And actually I started like approaching things differently after hearing you say that. And there is a lot of deck building consideration that is actually kind of flown directly out of that as a consideration.
Yeah.
God, I love
the chill. I love the panic button. I like the speed potion too, but I like those other two quite a bit. I actually I'm not even mad about this storm.
Can we get two? I mean, we can go Storm Turbo. We can afford both of those.
Oh wow, there's another turbo here too. That's pretty good, man.
Anything else? Let's do that.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and you know, I should say too, it's not even like our picks have been atrocious. Like our picks have been good. I think there were probably one or two cases earlier in the run where we could have taken a leap, like you said, where we could have like tried to take one more shop just to get one more source of block in the mid game. And now we win. Oh, double bias god, baby. Play the whole hand, go crazy.
We haven't played a skill yet, if I recall correctly, for the orange. There goes that debuff. 13, 13, 8, 21, 13. We don't need to hollow back and play another Glacier. We can use Claw Strike and get a point of Dex. Strike.
Yeah. And minimizing the cards in hand is good too. Oh, but we block Regret, right? Is Regret HP damage or is it damage?
HP damage.
Damage. It's HP? Which one's damage?
The one that emulates the effect of burn.
Yeah.
It's just damage at the end of hand.
Decay?
Yes. Decay.
Maybe.
No need to turn around and sets us up better for later turns.
You would think that at this point I would remember everything always.
It's impossible. There's no perfect memory machine.
Unfortunately, I have once again failed to turn on my perfect memory machine.
One of these days you'll remember, Teak.
Just boot it up. How hard can it be?
God, I would have loved a multicast in this deck.
Yeah, that would have been really good.
Okay.
Multicast is one of these Swiss Army knife tools that I've gotten to the point to where I'll pretty much take it even if I don't have a plan for it. Like if you're offered one in Act 1, I pretty much just click on it. You can find a home for it. You can try to Tempest and win.
I think so, because I think we can do the Tempest getting us close to the ink bottle, but I don't think we can do Tempest gets us close. Well, or not Tempest, rather. I don't think we can do anything gets us close to Nunchaku and still feel comfortable in this fight. So I just want to start.
Okay. Yeah. Make it so. I guess throw out the claw and the turbo, and then call that game. That's perfect. This enemy is super toast. And that means we get to take... Whoa, dude! Do you want another storm?
Yeah, it's storm.
We have enough frost. The big thing that we'll have to be paying attention to in the hard fight is that sometimes we might need to actually hologram like a glacier instead of hologramming all for one, because our damage is going to be ballistic. Totally ballistic. Do we actually hold one of the two powers in the hand this time? Like play bias, hold storm?
To have the ability to do the purge later on? I like it.
Yeah.
If we're doing that, we're going for a full setup turn, so then that's something like defend, storm, cool-headed. Start thinking about other options.
We have ink bottle here too, so we don't have to... We know we can play focus pot. That's done. And then we know we want to see one more card with ink bottle. So those things are good.
Okay, yeah. We're always blocking the vulnerability next turn because we're not going to be... Bias Cognition isn't going to be the play this turn, right? It's going to be
I was going to play
Storm.
Bias this turn. But I like Storm first. I think Storm first is good.
It just... Yeah. Yeah, because this... I mean, there's no world where we don't get another attack. But... Speaking thereof...
I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, and we definitely want to play that next turn, so... Yeah. highlighted, I guess, right?
That's another power. Now do we play the Bias Cognition?
Yes. Focus pot.
Oh, yeah, good point, well made. And then next turn, we'll pop the Flex Pot before we do the full combo. Skill Pot doesn't need to go out now. Do we
just play Barrage?
Rose, yeah, something.
Barrage. It's a great turn.
Nice.
Really extraordinary.
Very comfortable with that one. Second Bias Cognition.
Let's go, dude.
Oh.
Defragment blocks for us, so you can just play it. Because of Storm.
We only have one Storm out.
Yeah. Oh, right. In my head, I know what I just did. It's so dumb, I won't even explain it.
We have all of the active debuffs. Cool.
What's beep beep show us? Beep beep. Nice hologram. Cool, because that means we can bring back, literally cool, we can bring back Frost, which is probably what we end up doing with it. One more strike gets us a kunai proc too.
We don't need to use dual cast yet. Do we?
That was solid. Nah, we don't need to.
Because we're not max capping damage on any other turn. Okay, so we're taking some beat of death damage here because I still
What's in the skill pot?
Yeah, we can check that this time.
It's a glacier. It's a gravestone. Play it, storm it, do it, make it, storm it. Technotronic.
Storm is the perfect name for that card.
It really is. It really is.
Leave that in the front. Oh, we don't have loop yet.
Not yet, but spoon.
Draw loop.
Draw
Can you imagine
loop.
if that did?
That would have been so sweet. The 1 in 19. We'll take our 5%. Okay, and so all for one's here. So now play the dual cast and then play the whole hand. I think so, right?
Yeah.
Plus regret, so we want to clear.
We don't have the second turbo.
But that's okay. We'll hold hologram, right? Like we won't hologram anything back. Okay, proposal. All for one, then Tempest, then Turbo Glacier.
Yes.
Same brain? Okay.
Yep. I was just sequencing that.
Yeah. We're like totally synchronized today, man. It's great.
Sometimes the
And
brains
we're
just
like-
meld.
We're like two sine waves that have these anomalies sometimes to where we see a card pick and we go out of sync for a minute, but then we crash back into each other and then our frequencies harmonize and then you pick up the Rubik's Cube, I pick up the 2 fidget spinners. The heart is the USS Enterprise.
Ah, I think I get the metaphor, except that I don't. What's the what is the I never really watched any Star Trek at all.
I didn't watch Star Trek either. I just wanted a name of some complex vehicle. Something that might be difficult to drive. And I figured driving a spaceship is about as hard as it gets, right?
I think you're probably right on that one.
I have to imagine that it's not easy. Can we win this turn?
Oh, right, and then
All for one and go.
Okay, yeah.
Draws us cards. We have a dual cast. Zap, dual. We win.
Bye. Good night.
Just play as many cards as we need there at the very end.
Rhapsody.
GGT.
That was a great run. I can't believe we almost died to champ. Raps. We can't do that again. My heart. I can't. My ladder. My heart.
I don't know if it's just me, but I thought the champ fight was fine.
It was fine because we did draw one card that said block on it, and it also produced frost. But there was some draw where that didn't happen, and then we got hit 2 or 3 times, and this kills you.
Definitely, we rectified that pretty heavily
quickly
on the next floor.
That's like all we did in the next act.
2 glaciers.
Yeah. Look at our Act 3 picks: cool-headed, seek; cool-headed, glacier, regret, glacier. That was our Act 3. It was like never again. Never again.
We've seen this happen before. We are intent on preventing it from happening again.
GG.
GG, Teak. Hey,
that was fast. Speed run.
Hey, Teak.
Yep.
Last week I asked if you knew where I could find any kind of like chill, possibly atmospheric, probably was not necessarily 2D entirely, but not necessarily first person either.
Right.
So I was just wondering if you happen to know where I would find that. And as it turns out, I actually did end up finding that over at twitch.tv/sneakyteak. It happened yesterday. Cool. It was a particularly...
Did you like it?
I did. I really did.
Good.
I've spoken to you off camera about it as much as I possibly can without starting to feel like I'm gushing a little too much. But it was really, really, really enjoyable. And it's a great kind of afternoon sit down. I don't know if you have a smart TV. You may have a smart TV. Sit down on the couch with a cup of coffee or something a little stronger than that. Maybe Irish up that coffee. It really depends on your kind of mood. I know that there were a few people there who were enjoying the kind of Irish coffee tuning alongside it.
Yeah.
But pop that on the TV, just chill. Nothing's gonna jump out at you. There's no sudden anything. Frankly, there's nothing particularly sudden.
That's true. Nothing happened fast.
Do you want to mention maybe a couple games that you particularly enjoyed? Something about them you enjoyed to bait that hook for people who might be able to look at the description down below, where it's specifically a link to that stream.
Yeah, and I don't even mind doing that because I don't discourage people from watching Twitch VODs, but rather there's constantly live content, right? And so if there's a specific thing that you want to see, like you missed a run that you wanted to see, then, be my guest. Go watch the VOD. This is one of those rare cases to where I do think that it's very watchable as a VOD. That was part of the point, was to make a show where I was responsible for making a certain mood and a certain form of entertainment. It was a blast, man. There are games that stood out to me. I think Mew Cartographer is one of the coolest games that I've ever played. I think it's a super neat thing. It is surreal, and for some people it may be too much, like super experimental music, but for me, I just constant delight playing that game. So I think it's great. Mew Cartographer, to describe it briefly, God, I don't even know if I can. I think what it really is, it is, right? I think what it really is a live visualization of some various mathematical functions, actually, is what's happening under the screen. But the core premise, as I understand it, and I didn't read this anywhere, is that I think what the developers asked was, what if we made a complex HUD with robust tools, but we labeled none of them? And so you're basically like moving widgets and pulling bobbles and doing stuff to just try to figure out what does what. And it's a delightful game. And then the one that you really liked was at the end, Townscaper, which I think is a great toy. And it was one of your audience members who suggested the game to me. So the world comes full circle, actually, yeah. Oh. And but Gorogoa, one more, just one more.
Yes.
It was 11 great games. Okay, I can't really pick just a couple of them. There wasn't a single miss, and that was on purpose. I did the research. Gorogoa is a piece of art. That is a masterpiece. It is a panel-based storybook-style puzzler / point-and-click adventure, to where you drag tiles and scenes around and then recombine them in interesting and strange ways. It is a beautiful game.
I can say one of the most delightful experiences of the last week was your reaction to, specifically, it was, I'm not going to get into any spoilers, but there was a bench, a shelf unit, so to speak.
Yes.
And maybe something coming out of the blue.
Yep.
Not necessarily an expected result from a thing, but...
Well put.
God, that was so enjoyable. You can find the link down to that stream directly below. Hell, you can even find a link just straight to Teak's stream.
Thanks for pitching
And
it.
even the
Seriously, it was a lovely thing to make, and I'm very inspired by the opportunity to make things like that. So I really appreciate you giving it airtime because it was cool.
Oh, of course. It was super exciting to me as well, as to a bunch of the community. I could see people's responses to it consistently because I still had theater mode going on. I could see people's responses to it constantly of like, this is just exactly what I needed this week, Teak.
It's a Friday night.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It just has perfect vibes. If you're looking to continue those perfect vibes, again, you can find the links in the description down below. But for the moment, my name's been Rhapsody. His name's been sneakyteak. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next week.